Hello, everyone, and welcome to Penn Foster Live. I'm your host, Jess,
And I'm your host, Lauren.
and today we are having our first Penn Foster Live, which is going to feature all different kinds of segments and a full agenda of all things going on here at Penn Foster that you students, graduates should all know about. We are so glad to be here and to have you. Before we jump into all of our segments in our full agenda, Lauren is going to give us our Facebook Live tips. So take it away, Lauren.
Thanks, Jess. Just to go a little bit off of what you said, Penn Foster Live is the next iteration of what you might be familiar with as our Facebook Lives. With our Facebook Lives, we would stick to one topic and go in a lot of detail, but there's just so much going on that we always want to give you updates about. And so we decided to try something new and make this a little bit of a different style, which is why we have a new name. And we'll run through things like, program spotlights, what's upcoming, some study tips, things like that, just so you get a bunch of information out of these. That being said, we're so excited to have you with us. Since we are trying a new thing, please feel free to like, share, leave comments, and let us know what you're thinking. Leave comments too. This one's about graduation. So if you are somebody who has recently graduated or is graduating, I'm going to ask right here and now that you give yourself a shout out in the comments because you absolutely deserve to. But please don't leave any personal information there because they're public. If you need to contact our student services department, you can give them a phone call at 1-888-427-1000, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Or you can send a message to one of our social media pages. It might take a little bit, but more than happy to follow up with you there. If you are not yet a Penn Foster learner, but are thinking about it, or possibly want to take another program, give admissions a call. Their number is 1-888-427-6500. So that being said, here is what we'll be covering today. As I mentioned, we're going to talk all about graduation. We'll get into Graduate of the Year 2024 and how we can call out an outstanding graduate amongst you. We'll give some study tips for our current students, and we'll do a program spotlight on pharmacy technicians. So lots of good stuff. Jess, do you want to kick it off with what I think is the most exciting topic of all, graduation?
Yes, absolutely. So if you haven't heard, if you haven't seen across all of our social pages, graduation is on for 2024. This is something that Penn Foster has been doing for years, nearly 10 years now. 10 years ago, we had our first graduation ceremony in Scranton, Pennsylvania. It was a combination of a ceremony for students to meet up, and the first graduation actually had less than 50 people there. But despite being small, the feelings were big. We loved getting to share and celebrating our students' success and achievements, getting to meet you, and decided to hold more ceremonies from there. So each year after graduation has obviously gotten bigger and bigger. If you've seen the photos on social media from our graduation ceremony last year, it was a huge success. That was the one we held in 2023. And it was after we had to take a break in ceremonies due to the pandemic. But when we came back bigger, better, and stronger than ever. It was the largest in-person graduation we had to date, with 1,000 graduates walking the stage and over 4,000 family members and friends there to cheer them on. It was such an incredible experience, thinking about the first graduation ceremony that had 50 graduates held in our office, going from there to a full-scale arena filled with students, graduates who wanted to celebrate, and all of their friends and family members who wanted to celebrate them as well. Lauren, I know you were at graduation last year. If you could describe 2023 graduation in one word, how would you describe it?
It's really hard to sum it up in one word. I think I would say incredible. So one thing about all of you watching is that you're taking your education into your own hands. You've overcome challenges. You've decided to pursue your education. So it's not like you're being mandated to sit in a classroom. You're not being yelled at by a teacher. You've decided to do this. You also have had to decide every time that you were going to study, to study. You've had to decide to take your exams and, put some effort into those and pass those. So at our graduations, what we see is just thousands of people who are, and I'm including your family members here, who really, really this means the world to them. And it just goes to show what some perseverance can mean. And it's just absolutely the greatest day ever. So, like Jess said, we hope we see many of you this year at our graduation ceremony. We're switching it up this year and moving to Duluth, Georgia. It's very close to the city of Atlanta, definitely drivable from there. It will be held on August 3rd at the Gas South Arena. We'll be opening up registration very soon. So please check our social media and check your email for information on registering for grad. I will say I recommend that once that goes out, if you plan on attending, register as soon as you can, because the arena is only so big. We have so many of you graduating, so we just want to make sure you get your spot if you're planning to come. So please register as soon as we open. You will need to have all of your academic requirements complete and be paid in full by July. So make sure that you do that. If you're really close to finishing and you want to attend graduation, this is that 11th hour stretch complete and get there so that we can see you in Georgia on August 3rd. It'll be such an exciting day. One thing about our graduations is we try to make them a little bit more of a party feel because you all have worked so hard. So we're planning to have some live music, some really good energy in the room, and all of you. So it's going to be a really, really special day.
And something that we always get asked that we wanted to make sure that we addressed here on the live is that people always ask us, can you decorate your cap? And the answer is yes. We are hoping that you will. And if you are attending graduation this year, start brainstorming ideas for your cap, because we love to walk around and get photos of all of the amazing caps. We see so many great ones with family members' pictures on them, quotes, just completely out of the box ideas. We want to give you this opportunity to showcase yourself and really celebrate you. And what better way to have yourself stand out than to decorate your cap? So like Lauren said, keep an eye on your emails for registration. All of that should be coming soon. And graduates from any year and any program are encouraged to attend. So keeping that in mind, it doesn't have to be that you graduated within the last year or so. If you haven't gotten to come to a graduation and you graduated in 2022 or 2021 or 2020 even, we'd love to have you. It's never too late to celebrate yourselves. So can't wait to see hopefully a lot of you there, and it's just super excited about this year's graduation ceremony.
Absolutely. And you'll see us there. We'll both be there. So we hope to see you.
Moving on into our next segment, kind of jumping off of graduation itself, is our Graduate of the Year 2024 contest. This is something that we've been doing for years and years. If you've been following us on social, you will have seen finalists, podcasts from them, all kinds of great stuff celebrating the Graduate of the Year finalists and the Graduate of the Year winner. And that could be any of you that have graduated after March of 2023. So, Lauren, do you want to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the Graduate of the Year, when you can submit, all of that good stuff?
Absolutely. So, Jess, I think you gave it a good intro. Just to recap, our Graduate of the Year is an initiative that we do annually to find a graduate who truly is outstanding, who puts in effort with their studies and has, accomplished great things with us academically, who is an active member of their community and who has big career goals and dreams and is looking for those. So it's really somebody who goes above and beyond in their lives and really is, for lack of a better word, an outstanding graduate. So submissions are currently open for Graduate of the Year. Those opened on May 1st. So you're welcome to go in there. We'll drop the link to the form in the comments. So first things first, I definitely recommend that you check out that form, start thinking about your submissions that we'll give you tips for today, and really prepare for that. Any student who graduated after March 2023, as just mentioned, is eligible. And you could be a graduate of any program, whether that be high school, career school, college, or a certificate program. You are eligible to apply. To apply, you just need to fill out the form. Again, we'll link that in the comments. You'll also receive an email if you're eligible to submit. So that's another way to find that. When you submit, you'll need to completely fill out the form and include a photo in the form. So just something to keep in mind there. I'll share a few tips to make a winning submission from what we've seen in the past. Definitely encourage you, again, to take a good look at that form and provide details. So the first thing that I would say is don't be afraid to be a little bit longer with your answers, not necessarily recommending that you ramble, but provide details on your experiences, your achievements, your goals, things like that, so that our panel can really determine who you are and what attributes you bring to the table. The other important thing I would say to that is make sure the form is complete. Make sure to answer every question, especially those about volunteer work you do, and then what you're doing job-wise, what you've accomplished, if you've gone on to do more education, things like that. Usually the winners, the finalists will definitely complete the application and give pretty detailed answers there. So highly recommend that. The next thing I would say is to be honest, be yourself. We want to know who you are as a person and what it is that you've done that you're really proud of. And that will, believe me, that will absolutely shine through on the form. So don't hesitate to share important details about you personally as you apply to the extent that you're comfortable with. And then try to include a good photo. Those help us just see a little bit more of your personality. We've seen some great pictures where, especially like, for example, vet tech graduates will pose at their job or with animals, things that add to the submission. It's just one of those things that can help you stand out. So definitely recommend finding a good pick. Jess, do you want to tell us a little bit about how the winner is chosen?
Yes. So Lauren just ran through all of the tips that can make for a great submission. Piggybacking off of that, I just want to reiterate the one point that she pointed out: be yourself. We want to get a really good idea of who you are, what your journey has looked like, and how Penn Foster has helped you meet your goals and become, whoever it is you wanted to become through your education. So after you have submitted all of your story, everything in the form, we read every single submission thoroughly and very carefully and choose our top 5 submissions to be finalists. When we're looking at these submissions, we're considering your story, any outcomes you may have had from your program, and all of your achievements. So make sure that you are listing everything that your program has helped you achieve in your submission. Once we choose
and
our
that you've achieved in general.
Yes, very good. And especially, Laura mentioned volunteer work, anything that you do in the community as well. Just give us a really great picture of who you are and why you should be our graduate of the year this year. Once we've chosen those 5 finalists, we'll reach out to them by email and let you know when a great time is to set up a virtual interview with you. So this is one of the best parts about Graduate of the Year is we get to either talk to you on the phone or face to face via video and get to interview you, get to know a little bit more of your story and put a face with that submission more than just your photo. The interviews are then shared via podcasts. We share them on our social. And we use those to inspire other students to reach their goals and to celebrate your success. After the interview, our education department will look at your submission and your interview, as well as your academic record to determine the winner. We want to point out that because the education department is looking at your academic record doesn't mean that if you didn't get hundreds across the board on all of your exams that you will not be considered. It's more so just to make sure that you've completed all of your academic requirements and make sure that you are in the best position to be considered one of our finalists.
To that point, I'll just say really quickly that we're looking for somebody who's a bit more well-rounded than what you might think of as your traditional high school valedictorian, where it's based on grades alone. Your grades will be considered, but we're looking at who you are as a complete person. We understand that you might not be somebody, to Jess's point, that got hundreds on every single thing, but you put heart and soul and effort into all that it is that you do. And we'll be looking at, who you are and what you've done more holistically. So that's why it's so important to really be mindful of all of the aspects of this application process.
Yes, I'm glad that you pointed that out, Lauren, because we don't want anyone to feel like feels like a valedictorian kind of situation or even an honor roll situation. This is more about you as a complete package, which includes your academics and who you are. So that's why the submission process is super, super important, and completing that form in its entirety will set you up for your best chance to become a finalist. So after all of that is said and done, submissions are read, finalists are picked, interviews are finished, education department has done their review. We will determine our winner, and we will reach out to them by email to let them know. And then besides being the 2024 Penn Foster Graduate of the Year, in 2025, we actually will submit your story to the DEAC Outstanding Graduate of the Year for our school, which means that you will be recognized on a national level and is a really great thing to be able to pop onto your resume in addition to being a finalist and or a winner of the Penn Foster Graduate of the Year contest. So now that we've talked about every piece of Graduate of the Year from a technical standpoint, Lauren, can you explain why a graduate should submit?
Absolutely. So really, this is a way to honor your accomplishments, and it would be something amazing to put on your LinkedIn, your resume, talk about in interviews, and really just be proof of how incredible you are. So it's really just a way to, again, honor that person and those finalists who are all incredible for doing amazing things. We also love when our graduates of the year serve as an inspiration to others. There are so many learners and people out there who are going through similar challenges. And by, lifting you up and putting the spotlight on you, you can really motivate other people too. So it's a big deal. This is a huge honor, and we like to make a big deal of you, and you could use it to make a big deal of yourself. All very deserved. So we hope that you'll consider applying. Like we said, we really look at who you are holistically. So if this is something that you're interested in, even a little bit, it does not hurt to apply. So submit that application. I know there are a bunch of questions, but it truly doesn't take that long. Think about it, be really thoughtful and intentional about it, and we look forward to learning more about you. So all of that being said, we talked a lot about graduation today. There's definitely going to be more to come. Please stay tuned on our social media and through email, and check out all the great things going on. I would also love to give a plug to Destination Graduation, which is a social media challenge where you can talk about what you're doing to make progress toward your program and career goals, how you get motivated and inspired. And if you share content, you can actually win potentially a free trip to graduation, including flights and hotels. So please check that out and make some submissions there. Now, staying motivated isn't always easy, which we all know. So sometimes you need some advice to keep going and push through. So Jess, I know you asked our learners what their best study tips are and heard it straight from them. Can you talk about what they recommended?
Absolutely. So we went right to you guys on Instagram and Facebook and posted in our stories and asked for what your go-to study tips are. We got a ton of really great responses, and these are just a couple of the ones that really stood out and I wanted to call out today to impart the wisdom of our current students to the rest of you. So if you are new to online school or just want study advice, make sure you are sticking around for this segment because we asked real students what tips they have that work best for them. One current student named Sarah said that her go-to study tip is listening to calming music with no words. And then similarly, Olivia, another student, listens to jazz or classical music to get focused. I believe that there's actually, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure that there's some kind of science behind what kind of music you should listen to when you're studying or trying to, remember things. And classical music or even jazz, things with no words in particular, I feel like are a really great way to kind of get you in the zone and will, break up that dead air if you're sitting in a quiet room. Current student Milton's advice is simply to create a plan and stick to it. We've done Facebook Lives on this in the past on how to really hone in on what you're trying to accomplish, breaking your big goals down into smaller goals, creating a plan, even writing it down physically, attaching it to your fridge, putting it as the home screen on your phone is a really great way to create that plan and continue to stick to it. And then finally, Mia, another current student, suggests studying with friends. So I think that this can go even deeper. You can study with your friends or you can study with your family members. If you have other people who live in your house, give them the opportunity to quiz you on things before you take an exam. Make those flashcards, hand them off to somebody else, and have them help you verbally remember these lessons and the things that you're learning so that when you go into your exams and your lessons, you're putting your best foot forward. And just utilize the people in your life who want to help you because they are there to help you study and to succeed through your program. Thank you to everybody who submitted tips to us via Instagram and Facebook stories, and definitely keep an eye out for other opportunities to have your tips and tricks and thoughts shared in upcoming Penn Foster Lives, because we are hoping to do a lot more of this with these lives. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on social and for your chance to be featured here. And thank you to Sarah, Olivia, Milton, and Mia for submitting your tips. Hopefully they inspired some of you to utilize those going forward in your program. And finally, our last segment of the day is our program spotlight. And today we are spotlighting our pharmacy technician professional program. If you are interested in becoming a pharmacy technician and you're not sure where to start, here are some tips about our ASHP accredited program. Lauren, do you want to run through some highlights of the program?
Yes. So this program is awesome if you're looking to work towards a career as a pharmacy technician professional. One big thing I'd like to start off with is that this program has industry accreditation. So this is ASHP slash ACPE accredited training that is now required or strongly encouraged by several state boards of pharmacy. So you'll have to check your own requirements in your state to know if it's strongly encouraged or required. But even for the strongly encouraged piece, that can maybe be the difference between you and other candidates when applying for jobs. So this is something really crucial to look out for when you're looking at programs. This program will help to prepare you for the certified pharmacy technician job. So if that's the job and career that you're looking to get into, this program could be a really good fit for you. Our program also prepares you to sit for certifications. So the pharmacy technician certification exam, PTCE, offered by the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board, and it also prepares you for the exam for the certification of pharmacy technicians offered by the National Health Career Association. So those are crucial for this career, and we will help you prepare for those. You may be wondering how much of a commitment this is. So according to some completion times that we looked at from our students from May 2021 to April 2022, the fastest students have completed the program within 13 months, while the average time was 17 months. So with all of our programs, it really depends how quickly you're looking to make progress, how much time you have to dedicate to it, how much you resonate with the materials. So it can vary a little bit person to person, but 13 to 17 months is what you may expect. There is a required externship in this program, and this is very important. So that allows you to apply what you're learning in the online program to real world situations in a pharmacy near you. So just to clarify, the Penn Foster program is something you can do online at your own pace from wherever, but you will have to take an externship at an actual pharmacy to show that you can put all this knowledge that you're learning into actual practice. The externship is a minimum of 130 hours to be completed over 4 to 13 weeks at an approved community pharmacy near you. We do have an externship coordinator that we work with CVS, Walgreens, Kroger to place you at a store in your area. Acceptance into the required externship component of this program requires passing a background check and a 10-panel drug screen. And you also must have a minimum cumulative grade average of 70%. So definitely, something you'll need to take pretty seriously, but we genuinely want to make sure that you're prepared for a career. So this is what you'll need to do that. In our program, there's a lot to learn. This will include pharmacology, pharmacy laws and regulations, pharmacy sterile and non-sterile compounding, pharmacy management and operations, pharmacy billing and reimbursement, pharmacy management software, and more. This is just a sample, but as you can see, it's pretty comprehensive. And these do align to the skills that you'll actually need in this job. So you may be wondering, is this right for me? That's a great question. Definitely could be a great program for you if you want to work in healthcare. You want to be a certified pharmacy technician, or your state board of pharmacy requires that you complete an ASHP accredited program to become licensed and registered to work. This could be a great program for you if you do require some flexibility. You can complete the course at your own pace. There are no set class dates or due dates. Just the externship portion is in person, so you'll need to schedule that. And this is a pretty affordable training option. We offer monthly payment plans for tuition. So we really can work with you to make this work for you as best as possible. So this is great if you're somebody who, maybe is in a job now and you need to do the online training after hours, if you have kids, if you need to work around them, or if that's just more convenient for your lifestyle, but you really do want to get into a career as a pharmacy technician, this could be a great option. So again, if this is something that you're interested in, give our admissions team a ring at 1-888-427-6500. You can also visit pennfoster.edu to learn everything that you need to know about this program. So definitely check it out if that's something that you're thinking about.
Lauren, thank you for that completely comprehensive walkthrough of the program. I think it's a really great way to, in under 5 minutes, explain the program. But like you said, if you do want to learn even more in depth about the program, make sure you give our admissions department a call or you visit us online and check out that program page. We will drop it in the comments as well here. And that is all of the segments we have for you today. We covered a lot, so thank you so much for being here. One thing we want to say before we sign off is that it is Teacher Appreciation Week this week. So we want to give a huge shout out to all of our instructors who are working to help our learners not only succeed, but thrive in their programs and beyond. You are all complete superstars, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, us and I'm sure all of the students out there. So if you are watching this and you want to shout out a teacher in your life, or just, now that you know that it's Teacher Appreciation Week, give a teacher a pat on the back, or even if it's somebody in your life. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without the help of our instructors, and we are very grateful to them for helping all of you succeed. That being said, thank you all for joining us today. If you liked our new Penn Foster Live format, please let us know in the comments, send us a message. If you are interested, if there's any, segments or things that you'd like to see in next lives coming up, again, send us a DM, leave us a comment, let us know. We want to hear from you, and we want to make sure we're bringing you guys all of the info that you want to know. But other than that, Lauren, any other send-offs?
We'd just like to say thank you again to all the teachers and instructors out there. You're all amazing. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See ya.